Hello, ladies. I want to talk to you today. And you gentlemen, and the rest of you guys, you can hang around too because I think you're going to want to hear this. But, ladies, I've got a question for you. How would you like it if your husbands all of a sudden were bringing home less money and you couldn't afford that nice new car or that better house or that nice vacation? How would you like that? Furthermore, how would you like it if it was because this money, some of it, was going to another woman? I think you would say, well, what's going on? This guy having an affair? I'm going to kill him. That's not what I'm talking about. Hear me out. Recently, Iceland enacted this law stating that women must be paid the same as men. And I think it works the other way around as well, but it's just part of this obsession that people have nowadays with this so-called male-female wage gap. You hear, a woman makes 77 cents on a man's dollar, and this is so unjust. Well, you might say, what is wrong with equal pay for equal work? What's the problem? Well, the problem is that the wage gap myth is just that. It's a myth, not in that it doesn't exist, but there's a good reason for it. Because the same entities that tell you that a woman only makes 77 cents on a man's dollar also tell you why. You have to look at the statistics behind the statistics. And that gap is not due to unjust discrimination, it's due to different choices the sexes make when choosing career paths. For instance, men tend to choose more lucrative fields than women, the hard sciences versus the soft sciences. Obviously, if someone majors in petroleum engineering or becomes a computer technician, he's going to make more money than a therapist who's just got a BA. That goes without saying. We know that, quote, full-time men actually work more hours than full-time women. A government bureau tells us that. We know that women are more likely to decline promotions, citing familial responsibilities. We know that women are more likely to prioritize job enjoyment and flexibility over income. They can do that because often they're not the primary breadwinners. So there are many reasons, even things I haven't mentioned, why this wage gap exists. It's not that men are paid more or more is lavished upon them, it's that they earn more. Now, why do these efforts to eliminate the wage gap matter? Why are they harmful? Well, they're harmful for many reasons. I mean, they're wrong to begin with, but what they ultimately mean is that in the future, your husband, ladies, may end up making less money because of these government social engineering efforts. Let me give you some examples. This comes from Carrie Roberts, a writer, not very well known, but he wrote this in 2008. This discrimination is already befalling men. He wrote, female physicists are getting $6,500 more than men. Co-eds who majored in petroleum engineering are being offered $4,400 more. And women computer programmers are being enticed with $7,200 in extra pay. In fact, for dozens of majors and occupations, women coming out of college are getting better offers than men. Why these disparities, he writes? Because in traditionally male-dominated professions, employers are willing to ante up more greenbacks to attract females in order to forestall a costly discrimination lawsuit. Okay, now we get to my opening question. The only way you can equalize this male-female wage gap, since men actually are working harder and are prioritizing income more than women, is by handicapping the men, is by artificially lowering the men's salaries. And what this means is that these men will be subsidizing the women who perhaps are getting paid more, perhaps are not. Maybe it'll just be that the men will be getting paid less. But the thing is that this shouldn't be viewed as just a male-female battle of the sexes. Because remember, there are single women who you could maybe say would benefit from such a model, such a situation. But many women out there, most of them, they have brothers, they have sons, they have fathers who they love, they have husbands. And the bottom line, ladies, is that if your husband is getting paid less because he has to subsidize, so to speak, a woman in the workplace based on some equal pay scheme, the social engineering, that means that maybe you won't be able to afford that better car. Maybe you won't be able to afford that nice vacation or that better house in a safer neighborhood. Maybe you won't be able to afford that private school for your child or that college tuition. These things have real consequences. This is why Propaganda matters. Believing propaganda matters. And it's why looking deeper than just the slogans matters, because it's very compelling to hear a woman makes 77 cents on a man's dollar. It's great rhetoric. We heard that from people such as Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton. But the truth is, if you look more deeply, you see what the reality is. It's not due to discrimination at all. It's due to lifestyle choices, different career paths that the sexes take. So, ladies, unless you want your husband paying for another woman and taking money right out of your pocket, well, then you better oppose this nonsense because that's the direction in which we're going.